All right. Hello, everybody. It's Jill Blanchette. I am here for my weekly live on Green Thumb Stampers Facebook page. And hello, all my rewatchers and my YouTube rewatchers, because when I put it over on YouTube, it will not be live. Hi, Vista. Looks like I guess I'm good. I had a couple extra minutes today, so I got everything rounded up and ready to go. I see Mike's just gonna come out here and distract me. So, oh, good. Thank you, Vesta. Tonight, you could see by my popcorn glasses, I got a little theme going on. We've got the popcorn set, Poppin By. We're gonna use that tonight with it's not really a technique, but I'm gonna call it a technique. But I'm gonna show you guys that I saw on Pinterest. There's a die that cuts the strips in the whole page in diagonal. So I don't have the die, so we're going to try and recreate it on our own. But oh, I got my two winners of cards from last week. I got Kathy McNeil. Hopefully that's showing you correctly. And Linda, I'm going to say Spicer. I hope that's correct. She signed up for my newsletter, and I promised her that I don't use your address for anything other than to send the paper sample from. And she luckily said, "Oh, I don't care. You can keep it." So I dug it out of my deleted because I remembered that that's what she had said. I dug it out of my deleted emails, and I have her address. So these will be going out hopefully tomorrow. We've got a measuring guy coming over tomorrow. So I'm hoping to get to the post office because you know what I found out, and you guys may have the same issue. I found out, and I'm really confused on it, but my post office, they only get one delivery a day now. And I read something that it like went out. So you had to get it there by 3 p.m. if you wanted it to go like to the main hub place that same day. But when I was talking to the post office guy the other day about it, he said, no, if you bring it in today, it doesn't go out till tomorrow. So it's almost like they get their, they come in the morning, say like at 7, and pick up everything from the day before. So I guess if you're going to mail stuff and it needs to be somewhere on time, give it at least an extra day than what we've been used to. In the olden days, it was like 2 days to get across the state of Michigan. My friend Christy gets my stuff like overnight, but yet Debbie, who lives here in the same town as me, doesn't get it till a couple days later. But again, she has to go to the main hub and then come back. But still, she's at the same main hub as Christy. But anyway, that's my little fun tip for right now is if you need to mail, now add an extra day. And my friend Kathy, who's in Virginia, she takes my gosh, I could drive there faster than it takes her mail to get there. Like, well, of course you could drive there faster if you drove straight through, but it takes like 5 to 7 days for her to get something. So you really got to be Jilly on the spot to get something to her. But let me turn my camera down and get going. So I told you guys the winners, Linda and Kathy. So yes, Kathy will get this card in about a week. Probably she'll just get it when I announce next week's winners. And let's see real quick, what do we got going on for Stampin' Up? If you tried out the new notify me when back in stock, hold on, I'm dying of thirst. Notify me when back in stock button on items that have sold out or are currently unavailable. If you've clicked that recently, they had a short period of time that it was out of commission. So in my newsletter today, I did tell you which products were back that they, the email didn't go out to let you know it was back in stock, but it's fixed now. So that was a little hiccup. And then obviously the join specials going on. I did get a new downline. Thank you very much for joining. I don't know if she wants everybody to know, so I'm not going to call her out on it. but I appreciate her joining back up. And she is going to be like a lot of us and just kind of a hobby demonstrator, getting the discount, stocking up on her supplies. And you know what? She may never order again, and that is perfectly a-okay. But that's it for now. I'm going to turn my camera down. Join special was it. Building up my team of hobby demonstrators. We're going to go over here. We're going to, and the demonstrators are at Disney World right now. So if any of you aspire to run a business, by all means, I'd love to help you get there and go on any of these incentive trips. But what do they say? Only 1% of demonstrators earn those trips. But they're at Disney World for, I don't know if they're there for a week or what, but I'm gonna show you guys. This was my first attempt at this. Oh, Julie's on. Hey, Julie and Christy and Debbie. This was one of my paper pumpkin cards. It was a bonus because I used the box. I ripped the paper off the box. And then the only thing with this one is it was a watercolor. So even though I got the strips on there, it's not doing its thing of the card that I saw that I don't even know who the designer was, the company that had the die, but I really liked the way it looked, so I thought I'd try it. So this is just one of them, but not the effect that the die had. So I will show you the effect that the die had. So this is what I'm going to show you guys today. We're going to make this. Now I think my strips might be too wide. I cut them at like, oh, they might be like a 1/2 of an inch, but as you could see, they're not quite right. So I did take time and measure. These two, you get two cards out of the panel because you're using every other strip. But you see the whole effect that it does is you get all those colors like down in a row. So it's a neat look, kind of a stripy, but yet horizontal stripy at the same time. And so I'm going to show you that, and I will show you how I am altering it and finagling it around for the video. So there it is up close. I cut out some little popcorns to put in my little popcorn bucket. I got this set and I wasn't real sure that I wanted it, but I was going to do an event that I went to last year. I was going to do it again this year, and this was one of the sets that you needed for that. And so I thought, oh, I better get it. And you know, who doesn't love popcorn? So I'm liking it. I love these for sure. Not so sure I like the little faces on the popcorns. Oh, and did I put on the inside? You probably can't. Can you see those? The little popcorn stamps have faces too. And so I'm not real sure I like that, but I love these. So let's get going and I will show you what I did, how I did it. So first of all, I redid the, oh, hey, Weech. Yes, it wants to rain here too, but it hasn't yet. Oh, yes, Julie, your watercoloring bird picture was beautiful that you did. So let me show you. I have a 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece of basic white. And again, if I had the die, it's already spaced properly. And then I tried to use Chat GPT to help me to know exactly where I needed to mark. And it didn't work out quite as cool as I wanted it to, but I got the gist of what it was telling me. So I'm just going to show you. I'm going to go on 3/4 of an inch. So because it's 5 1/4, that's going to work out perfect for my left and right, or top to bottom, sorry. So we're just going to come in and we're going to mark at 3/4 of an inch. All the way down the sides. I think I just did that wrong. I'm talking. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay. So then we want to do that on both of the long edges. And then to compensate, because this is 4 inches wide, I counted 13 little ticker marks. So it's like, it's 3/4 and then 1. But you got to count them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So like that. So across the bottom, I'm doing 13. Now I haven't cut one yet to see what it's going to look like completely. But we're going to go ahead and do all 4 sides with the little marks. So I did 3/4 plus 1 little ticker mark, and then these on the long side are all 3/4 of an inch. So I've done that already. And now I have the back all prepped and ready to go. I'm going to flip it over. We've got whatever colors you want to use, basically. But because I was thinking of popcorn and I was thinking of my glasses here, it's using, oh, I never noticed they got some burnt ones in there. And I think it's the hulls, yeah, I think like the little hull part of it. But I had some yellow and the little bucket was red and white. So, and my glasses had black on them too. So I got yellow, red, and black. So what I'm going to do then is, my paper was 4 inches wide. So I just went ahead and made my strips 1/2 of an inch wide. And if you do it correctly, they should just lay right on there and cover up the whole piece of paper. So I'm just going to start. Let's see if I can get these on here. And, you know, once you go crooked, which I just might do, everything will be crooked. So I'm going to do my best to keep them on there straight. And I'm just going to go red, yellow, or black, yellow, red. And my strips, like I said, are 1/2 of an inch wide. And I went 5.5 long pretty much because I didn't want to go too crazy and waste too much paper. I could just cut a sheet in half and call it good. So, but I do want it to hang off just a little bit so I know that I got good spacing. I'm going to try and tuck them up next to each other there. I'm going to repeat with some black. Put some more glue down. Here. Hi, Patty and Kathy. Oh, you got a good storm? Kathy's getting a storm in Virginia. I see it. We're supposed to get something come through tomorrow night. Good winds, maybe hail. And now I only did 2 strips of red because the layer I'm going to adhere this on is red. So I thought that I would maximize the black and the yellow. Okay. So look at there. I must have done a little oddball cutting because I'm a little bit over the line, but that's all right. So now we're going to just cut off our excess. You can use your trimmer, you can use your scissors. Probably should have used my trimmer. Okay. Oh, I saw Weege was on. And Julie's on. Julie meet Weege, Beverly Glazer, and Bev meet Julie. Julie is the quilt cards that I gave you guys last year at retreat. Those are Julie's creations. And she's a quilter, quilt trail lover, and a all-around very fun, crafty, lovely lady. And maybe if we run out of place to go, we can hop in for our retreat with Julie's retreat and rent the second house that the Inspiration in Bloom has. So here we go. That one looks a little bit jankety, but this is what we got. We got all of our strips down, and I'm going to get my trimmer out now. And let's see, this card I'm going to try and go from this way. We're going to cut like this time, so I want to go this way. So I'm just going to put the dots in the channel of the trimmer and then kind of just do my best to keep it lined up. And then we're going to cut all those pieces. And I'm just going to keep moving across the board. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and use this line here to, although it's not really quite right. And I think because I'm on that 13th notch across the top, they may be a little bit different shaped even. They might be a little more angled than. So we're just going to cut them. Again, if you got a way, see this one looks, I don't have a good angle. If you got a better way to cut those, line the dots, I guess I could have just made the paper bigger. And I'm learning from my quilt cards that it does help to be precise. Oh, where's my, I guess it's just right in the corner. You gotta measuring it. You can't just be, I'm gonna eyeball that. And this one might be off. I didn't put a dots. There is a reason to measure and stick to it. Just gonna do the whole, this one must go to the corner. Better lift that up. Come in here again. And, you know, hopefully nobody will scrutinize it that closely. They'll just say, oh, look at that. Isn't that cool? Or, you know, you just buy the die if you really want to do it precise. Because I'm sure then the die cuts it out to the right size also. All right. This is really thick with all that. All right. So now we cut our little paper. And now it's the fun of taking another plain piece, and I just used white. You could use whatever color you wanted for underneath there. And then we're just going to I'm going to flip them over. And I'm going to put it back together. Just so we can see how it went. Kind of like so. So we're going to do every other one. So I won't put it all back together. But that's what we want to do. So I'm going to take these out. And then I'm just going to start gluing it back together. So we're going to, if it helps you, hey Jean, Tony, if it helps you to lay them all back on there, then by all means, lay them all back on there. And then I know that one will go there because it'll be easier to make sure you're getting it in the right spot. One of mine, I didn't put them back on. I just tried to lay them in there. And it was just a little trickier to get it all at the right angle. So I do recommend you lay that one back in there. And then glue the other one on top. Here. And like I said, the object here is to have all of our little colored pieces in a row, but yet you see it all at the angle. This guy out. There. You could save yourself a thickness of this paper by if you glued it right onto the red versus cutting it up and then gluing it back onto another piece of white. You could just lay all your strips down on the backing piece. Oops, I lost a little tiny red piece there. Or nope, it's yellow. Okay. And we'll pop that one back out. And then now we have all these pieces here for a second card. And I do not have a yellow marker over here. But I will color that little tiny spot there yellow, or I will, yeah, I'll color that yellow. So then we're going to load this guy onto a red that is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Squeeze that in there real tight. So now we've got this, and something is crooked. Probably my white. Let's see if I can straighten that up. Yep, it's my right. My white, I think, is crooked. That's all right. Again, it's measuring. There's a reason that we measure and are careful, and no matter how careful I want to be, I don't do a whole lot of stuff with a straight line. All right. And then I have Daffodil Delight, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25, fold it in half, burnish on the fold real well. And so this guy, because I made him a little bit smaller, he was 3.75 by 5. I had space to put all the layers in there. And then this one, because I wanted to have better even spaces for cutting my strips out of, I am foregoing that extra layer in there. And we're just putting it on yellow and red, but because all popcorn needs butter, we got some yellow. Oh boy, okay. Then get this off my desk. I got a white for the inside. And did I show you the stamp set? Where did I put the stamp set? Underneath my cleaner. Here's the stamp set. Poppin By. I probably could have showed you that earlier. And then I'm going to take my long block here, and I'm just going to put these two poppin' corns on it with some lemon lolly. We got a lightly buttered center. And I'm just going to stick them down here in the corner. I'm going to glue that on. And because when I was cutting this, I was going crazy cutting. I got a bunch of extra ones. I'm going to turn this into a graduation card. Oh, let me show you what I'm going to do. I've been making graduation cards, so I'm going to take, I got a little graduation hat. I don't have the tassel on this one, but I'm going to put it on the popcorn bucket, and then I'm going to leave off hello. I'm just going to say popping in to say ... and then on the inside, like congrats grad, something like that. So I just got to figure out how I'm going to put the little hat on. Most likely a little sideways like that, but I think that'll be cute. Something different, something different. So now we got the inside done. I did the same popcorn on the envelope. And now we're going to decorate the outside. So I have pre-cut one of each of the kernels of popcorn that are in there. So let me show you the dies. Here's the dies. So you got 3 kernels of popcorn, got some like 3D glasses or something for the little dude, some shoes. The popcorn bucket cuts out, and then I'm going to think this is like a film strip or maybe your ticket stub or something like that. I didn't play with that one yet, but like I said, we've got the 3 pieces of popcorn there. I got a strip that is 1/2 inch wide for my sentiment. And we're just going to use the whole hello. Oh, that's not long enough. Memento ink, my black. Gonna ink that up. see if we can stamp this down. Should make sure it's okay. Can't hover over it close enough. Cross your fingers. Oh, good. Yay. Oh, I did rock it a little bit, but that'll work. So we've got that done. I have an extra piece here. Let me cut the strip off. Poppin by to say hello. And let's get our little box of popcorn done. So what I did, I got the box of popcorn here. Got some real red. And I'm just gonna go to the top of the popcorn box. Putting it in the ink. Best that I can, only to the top of the popcorn box. Then we need to wash that off. Many times as I just ran that. And then we're going to use our lemon lolly. And we're going to just kind of do the top. We're just going to shoot for the popcorn. But we need a little bit of the box, and I'll show you for the first one. Then I'm going to have the popcorn because I'm going to cut out the kernels. And we can go over here. And now, like I said, there is a die that cuts out the box of popcorn, but he's pretty straightforward. So I'm just going to fussy cut him real quick so that I can go around the top. Getting a little close. Trim that down just a smidge. And we're going to just, you can cut his feet off if you don't want to put his feet on there, but I want his little feet on there. And you may just accidentally slip and cut his little feet off too. So if that happens, then just go without the feet. All right. So there we got our little popcorn dude. Now I got my black Stampin' Right marker. It's an old one, so it's got a couple different size tips. And I'm just going to give him some black eyes. And then I'm going to color his little feet black. I was going to cut out the shoes, but I didn't want to get that putsy on you guys. So if you got this set, I bet the little shoes would be cute on him, little tennis shoes. So I just did his eyes and his feet. Then we're going to come over here and we're going to cut out the popcorn. Hold on. I'm struggling to get around there. We're just going to cut out the popcorn. Like so. Leave some space. I actually had popcorn today. Watched a show and had popcorn with it. Me and the cat. And then I'm going to glue the popcorn box on top of that. that I just cut out. So we'll put some glue, and then this is just a good way to be able to like slide it in there without having to figure out how you're going to make it like rest on the top or whatever. You just cut it out like that. Then I'm going to take my little scissors here and I'm just going to cut out a couple pieces of popcorn just to help give the, oops, I just hit the camera with my glasses. Leaned in too far. And then I've got little dimensionals to put on there. You guys might not want to fuss this much. By all means, do not. You don't have to. I'm sure it is just as cute without the popcorn pieces. Whoops. Flinging all over. I usually eat mushroom popcorn, and they're great big huge flakes or kernels. And the guy at the store the other day said he was there getting white hullless. And he's like, oh, I'm taking all of it. Did you want this? I said, oh, no, I'm getting the mushroom. And he's like, oh, you've got to try this. And I've had it before. And so Mike said, oh, let's just get a bag. So we got a bag of it. And I do enjoy the big mushroom kernels. I mean, they're huge. They're like the little gumball machine gumballs are bigger. But this white hullless is like snow white. And he was right. It's hullless. There's no hulls. And I think that I almost like that. And it was a little different consistency, chewiness. Because they're little tiny puffs. But I might have a new favorite. Only because I can eat it faster. I can shovel it in much faster if I'm not trying to pick the hulls off first. Because that mushroom I have to kind of flick off hulls before I eat it. And they flick off really easy. But it slows me down. This kind, I could, yeah, my giant green Tupperware was almost empty before I even realized. My show was only an hour. But it was delicious. All right, last one right here. Maybe. Come off. All right, maybe the little popcorn kernels aren't worth cutting out, but dang, they're cute. And I'm just sticking them on there to give the, the bucket some dimension. So now, I guess I could stick my popcorn buddy down in here, and then you can't see that I lost that little piece of paper. So let's do that. Not that you can see I lost that little paper unless you're really looking, but because I know it's there right now, we're going to go over it. Going to put his little foot right there where that, okay? And then I'm going to put a few dimensionals on the back of my Poppin By. And we could say this is also tribute to those Walt Disney World Achievers, because I think this is like Disney colors. Oops, I can't put that down until I put my popcorn kernels on and make sure I got it. So yeah, we got some Disney colors going on here. Let's see. Let's put it over here. Whoops, now we got that stuck to us. Not sure what Mike's doing up there. Sounds like the roof's caving in on me. Or the ceiling. I didn't want that one right in the center, but it's going to stay there because it's down there now. So, and we'll put our third popcorn down here. We got a little sentiment. I'm going to stick it under my piece of popcorn so that you can't see that I stamped on it. I got a little boo-boo there. And so that, you guys, is our Poppin By to say hi, hello card. And as I said, we got one more set of pieces that you can make another card with. And then this one here, my two here are with a 3 3/4 by 5. So I'm not sure. I didn't check it to see if 3/4 of an inch. These I tried to eyeball and cut at a 1/2 inch. So you can do that too and change it up a little bit. So that is it. Let's see. Today's word, let's use, I guess, popcorn. Why not, right? That's our word for the day. It's our little theme we got going on here. Popcorn. Okay. So go ahead if you'd like to be entered for one of these kits. I think I got 2 of them ready to go. I'm only going to send stuff for 1 card, but you can use the strips and be thinking, if you win, about what you might want to do with the other strip if you don't have the popcorn set. So that's it, everybody. I will be back again next week on Wednesday. As far as I know, I got nothing going on. Just visiting with you guys. So I will see you then. Take care. And that's it. Good night, everybody. All right.